What's up? This is Ben from WODprep, and today we're going to talk about 3 simple steps that you can do to go from no ring dips to being able to do very strict, perfect ring dips. So there's a few progressions that I like to take my athletes through as they work their way to being able to do ring dips. And I actually do things contrary to a lot of other gyms out there. I don't use bands, and there's a few reasons for this. When you use a band, a lot of people do banded ring dips as a substitute if you can't do normal RX ring dips. If you use a band, a lot of times it gives you an extra assistance all the way down at the bottom. And when you're down at the bottom, that's usually where you're most unstable, and that's where I actually want to develop strength. So the band turns into a crutch if you're not careful. So today we're going to talk about 3 steps that are going to help you get ring dips. Step number 1 are ring supports. So before you worry about anything else, I want you to hop up on the rings and simply hold yourself. It's really important to develop the control and stability to stay above the rings without having your arms go everywhere and without falling off. And it's harder than it looks. Just simply hop above the rings, lock out those arms, make sure you're externally rotating. So all that means is I'm making sure that I'm not caved in like this when I'm on the rings. I'm keeping my chest exposed, core tight, toes pointed, and I'm turning those rings slightly out. And step 2 is ring dip negatives. So a ring dip negative is where I'm jumping up into that support, and then I'm gonna lower myself down as slowly and controlled as possible all the way until I get to full depth. So I wanna make sure that when I'm doing these negatives, I don't just collapse all the way down to the bottom, because that's not good for your shoulders. So that's why we work on the supports first, and then the negatives, I want you to go slow and controlled all the way down until you get to below parallel, until you get to a deep ring dip. Now it's really important, make sure that you set the rings to a height where you can offer yourself a safety net. So if I'm doing a negative and I can't even touch my feet to the ground at the bottom, you're potentially putting your shoulders at risk for injury. So instead of doing that, make sure that when you lower yourself down, you have some sort of box or something that you can put your feet on. It could simply be the floor to support yourself all the way at the bottom so that you're not doing anything nasty to your shoulders and you're not just collapsing all the way down. So lower yourself as slow as possible. That is a ring dip negative. And then the third step is what I call partial ring dips. So a partial ring dip, you guessed it, you're doing a ring dip, you're just not going through the full range of motion. So a ring dip is when I lower myself down all the way below parallel and then come back up. A partial ring dip, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down part of the way and come back up. So it's teaching you support, you're hitting a little bit of that negative, but then you're also working that up phase. So you're working on the actual press to lock out. So as you work these partial ring dips, the goal obviously is you start, your first few partial ring dips might only be a few inches, and then it's gonna move on to maybe 6 inches, and then eventually as you get better and as you progress, you're gonna move on to a fully RX strict ring dip. And make sure, above everything, do not kip until you are comfortable and strong enough to be able to knock out several strict ring dips in a row. So that is how you develop a strict ring dip. If you would like more training like this, all you have to do is click any of the buttons on the screen or the button floating overhead if you're on a mobile device. Look in the comments below and make sure that you go to my website. If you sign up for the WODprep Nation newsletter, I'm gonna deliver a free ebook to you that's gonna help take your training to the next level. It's got a bunch of insights and a bunch of keys, a bunch of little drills, just like we talked about in this video, that's gonna help you take your training to the next level. So I really look forward to hearing from you. I can't wait to give you that free gift. Also, if you could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. We just hit 10,000 subscribers, and I think that's freaking awesome. We have a lot of momentum. Please hit subscribe, thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't like it, and last but not least, leave a comment below and let me know what you are struggling with. Let me know if this video helped you. The more you communicate with me, the more you leave comments, the more I'm gonna be able to make videos that will help you get better. Thanks so much for watching, and WODprep out.